Hello, what's going on, everybody? First off, big thank you to Jazz and all the other organizers and people that have been involved in creating the content, doing the behind the scenes, not just this year, but also historically um, for the Sailing for St. Jude's and all the great work that's gone into raising money for an amazing cause. My name is Benjamin. I'm known by Tinathalard as my in-game name, which kind of as I guess a bit of backstory about my in-game name. It's kind of a reference to Napoleon Dynamite, which is one of my favorite movies ever. Specific kind of humor, so not for everyone, but yeah, there's a part in that movie where he goes, Tina, you fat lard, eat some dinner. He's talking to a llama. But anyways, back to the video. Puzzle Pirates and what it's kind of been to me and meant to me over the years. When I was 13, 14 years old, is kind of when the game was first kicking off, and I remember finding it on Miniclip. Me and a couple of my brothers used to bike to the local library to play it because we didn't have internet at home to play it on. So we would get all of our bikes and we'd go bike down to the local library, and they would give us like 3-hour sessions that we could use the computers, and we would play for 3 hours straight, and then we would start figuring out ways around it, getting a secondary card or like asking people to book the computers out for us and all sorts, because we were absolutely addicted. Throughout high school, played it. I've taken breaks here and there, but as most people that are still playing the game, we always kind of find our way back, whether it be because we miss the people, we miss the community, whether we miss the puzzles, whether we just miss the grind aspect of it. There's always something that brings us back. I think for me, it's always been kind of the nostalgia, thinking of the times of going with my brothers to the local libraries and whatnot, and just the good times we had staying up all night once we all moved out and, we're in college and whatnot. Doing 24-hour pillages and all sorts. I say recently, back in 2020, came back to the game. I was a full-time Twitch streamer at the time. Came back to the game after getting a bit bored of Apex Legends and started doing like daily pillages, daily Atlantis runs. Got a bit involved in blockading. But then I actually met my wife through the game and Twitch streaming. I was streaming a Haunted Seas at the time, I think, and she applied, and then she saw I was streaming and came onto the Twitch stream and was like, I wonder what people that play Puzzle Pirates look like. And it wasn't even a year and a half later that I moved from Texas to the UK. My wife is British, so I know people find different things in the game, and I very unexpectedly found the love of my life. So beyond what it means to me from a nostalgia standpoint, I met my lifelong partner through the game. So I think it'll always mean quite a bit to me that whether it's having a new dev and giving them as much feedback as we can, or just being trying to be as catering to helping people learn how to play the game, or making sure that people feel empowered to go and run a pillage or run a sea monster hunt or whatever it is. I'm always doing my best, and by no means perfect, but trying to cultivate a positive community. So I really appreciate everybody that's been involved in that community aspect of the game for a long time, and I really appreciate you, Jazz, for all the work that you've done. I know that the underlying cause to this is something that's very important, but also it just gives us a chance as a community to come together and learn more about each other, learn what the game means to us, learn what the community means to us. So I really appreciate the opportunity to get on here and just kind of yap for 5 minutes or whatever it's been. But much love to all of you guys. I hope you all will support the cause and the game in any ways that you can. It doesn't need to be financially. It can be a piece of content. It could just be being kind to people when you see them on the game. Being welcoming to newcomers. But just remember, we're all here to have a good time. We're all here to enjoy the game. We're all here to support a good cause. So especially in the live stream, especially during these competitions that Jazz and his team are putting on, that we're being very positive, and we're not doing anything to kind of jeopardize the fact that Jazz has done the impossible and getting lots of people from the admin slash developer side to be supportive of a player and community ran event like this. So let's do our best to support him and support that great group of people doing this. Thank you very much for your time, and let's get Salem for St. Jude's.